Hello, my friend, and welcome to this sanctuary of the quiet night. Before we embark together on a journey far away, to a land where two great oceans meet, and where the currents of the world never cease to flow, I invite you to gift yourself a moment of complete stillness. Let the busyness, the worries, and the heavy pressures of the long day behind you gently fade away at the threshold of your bedroom. Just like a river that has traveled through rough rapids and steep waterfalls always finds a peaceful delta to merge into the vast sea, your mind right now deserves to return to its most original state of tranquility. Allow yourself to let go. In this very moment, the world outside has temporarily closed its curtains, and the only thing required of you right now is simply to exist, to breathe, and to feel the absolute safety of your own familiar space. Now, begin by finding the most comfortable position on your soft bed. You may lie on your back, letting your arms rest gently beside your body, or turn to one side if that feels more comforting to you. Adjust your pillow so that your neck and shoulders are perfectly supported. If you are using a blanket, feel its soft warmth gradually wrapping around your body like a tender hug, sheltering and protecting you from the cool evening air outside. Once you feel completely comfortable, slowly close your eyes. Yes, close your eyelids gently, without any strain, without any rush. As your eyes close, the visual world around you fades away, giving way to a peaceful and vast inner sanctuary. Bring your awareness back to your own breath. You do not need to change its rhythm, nor do you need to breathe too deeply or too long. Just let your breath flow naturally, like the rhythm of distant ocean waves, coming and going, leisurely and steady. Feel the cool, fresh air as you breathe in through your nose. This gentle breath brings the freshness and coolness of the night, passing through your throat and filling your chest. And then, as you breathe out slowly, imagine that you are releasing all the residual energy and tension left in your muscles. Each exhalation allows your body to sink a little deeper into the mattress beneath you. The weight of your body is completely supported by your bed. You do not need to carry any burdens anymore. You are entirely safe here. Let us scan through your body together to recognize and release any remaining tension. Begin with your forehead. Soften the muscles on your forehead, letting the skin between your eyebrows smooth out, as flat as a lake's surface, without a single ripple. Next are your eyes. Let the delicate muscles around them rest completely. Your cheeks, too. Let them soften naturally. Part your lips slightly, relaxing your jaw, ensuring you are not clenching your teeth. As your face relaxes, a gentle feeling of peace begins to spread down your neck and into your shoulders. Your shoulders, which carry so many responsibilities during the day, are now slowly dropping down, becoming soft and light. This feeling of relaxation continues to flow down both arms, through your elbows, your wrists, and down to the very tips of your fingers. You might feel a gentle warmth or a pleasant, subtle, tingling sensation at your fingertips. This is a sign that your body is entering a state of deep restoration and rest. Continue to let this tranquility flow down your spine, soothing each vertebra from your upper back to your lower back. Your chest and abdomen rise and fall gently with each breath, calming your internal organs. This peace flows down into your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, and finally into the soles of your feet and your toes. Your entire body, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, has now become soft, warm, and completely relaxed. In this state of absolute release, your mind is like a small boat anchoring at a peaceful shore. There are no rushed thoughts, no city noises. There is only you and the soothing rhythm of the late night hours. If a stray thought happens to drift across your mind, that is completely normal. You do not need to feel frustrated or try to push it away. Simply acknowledge it, smile at it as you would watch a cloud drifting across the sky, and then gently guide your attention back to the sound of my voice and to your breath. Before we step into the space of the historic canal, if you love these peaceful moments and soulful stories, please take a second to subscribe to the channel, click the little bell icon, and leave a like. Your gentle companionship and interaction are like precious drops of fresh water, giving the channel the motivation to continue weaving beautiful sleep for you and everyone every night. After the video ends, or when you wake up tomorrow morning, you can also return to share your feelings in the comment section. For now, continue to relax and let your mind float along with the flow of our story. Everything around you right now is slowly sinking into the cool darkness. The room is quiet, the light is soft, and the warmth is comforting. You are here in a space that belongs entirely to you, completely private and absolutely safe. Nothing can disturb you. Nothing can rush you. Time seems to be slowing down, second by second, stretching into moments of perfect stillness. Continue to maintain that leisurely breath, feeling the comfort soaking deep into every cell, ready to let your mind be guided to a new space where stories of time and love are waiting to be told in the slowest, most gentle way. As your breathing becomes steady and deep, allow your mind to gently leave your current surroundings and step onto a journey across time and space. Imagine a floating, effortless sensation, as if you are sitting in a small wooden boat, drifting leisurely on a perfectly calm body of water. The boat takes you to a distant land, a narrow strip of earth connecting two vast continents, where cool breezes from two grand oceans constantly sweep through. Carrying the breath of the sea and the vibrant life of the untouched wilderness, we are drawing closer to the Gulf of Panama at twilight as the day prepares to surrender to the quiet night. Feel the atmosphere around you right now. Evening is slowly settling over the Gulf of Panama. It is not a brilliant, dazzling sunset with the harsh rays of daytime, but a remarkably gentle transition. The wide sky above is changing its coat, shifting from the clear emerald blue of the late afternoon to a soft, lingering pastel purple and pink. This hue stretches and spreads across the horizon, looking as though an invisible, skillful hand has gently draped a giant scarf of fine velvet over the entire city and the boundless sea. The final rays of the day are now nothing more than faint, soft streaks of light, reflecting shimmering glimmers on the ripples far out at sea, creating a deeply soothing and poetic scene. From the boundless ocean, cool night breezes begin to blow inland. You can clearly feel the refreshing coolness of the wind caressing your skin. The breeze carries the familiar, savory scent of sea salt, drifting gently past your senses, awakening a deep tranquility within your soul. But it is not just the sea. Blended into that cool wind is the sweet, warm fragrance of the tropical rainforest. This is the distinct scent of damp earth, of the forest floor, and of thousands of wild blossoms that have just been refreshed by a sudden summer shower. The rain has passed, leaving water droplets resting on the veins of leaves like tiny glistening jewels, and now the entire forest breathes out an air that is pure and pristine. Under the dim twilight, the historic canal emerges like a giant ribbon of silver woven across the heart of the jungle. The water of the canal is now perfectly still, turning into a deep navy blue, reflecting the first stars just lighting up in the sky. On both banks, ancient tropical trees stand like towering guardians of time, their grand canopies intertwining to create a deep green wall, embracing the water. Every movement in this space happens slowly and leisurely. The last seagulls of the day glide slowly back to their nests along the hillsides, the soft flapping of their wings blending into the murmur of the water to create a soothing background melody. In the distance, the lighthouses and signal lamps along the canal begin to glow. Warm golden lights, along with glowing dots of emerald green and deep red, appear clearly, marking the path for ocean liners preparing to enter the lock system. Seen from above, the entire scene resembles a fairy tale world drifting into sleep. The warm golden light from the control stations radiates outwards, bringing a sense of immense warmth, safety, and shelter amidst the grand nature. This space is entirely separated from the noise and bustle of modern cities. Here, there is only the rhythm of water, of wind, and of magnificent engineering operating in perfect harmony with nature. You feel like a traveler standing on a breezy balcony, looking out at the panoramic view of this poetic canal. A feeling of absolute peace and relaxation washes over your mind. All daily worries and fatigue seem to have been carried away by the ocean breeze, leaving only lightness and stillness. You are completely ready to immerse yourself in the story of the people who live and bind their lives to this current, those who view the rhythm of the locks as the very heartbeat of their own souls. Continue to let yourself sink deep into this comfort, listening to the whisper of the night wind, the murmur of the water, and join me as we step into the warm space inside the Miraflores Locks Control Center, where our main story begins. Inside the warm, golden-lit control room at the center of the Miraflores Locks operation, Mateo gently loosened the collar of his crisp, off-white guayabera shirt. The refined vertical pleats on the smooth fabric were a symbol of elegance and meticulousness that he always proudly inherited from his family. On the radar screen, a colossal container ship was slowly moving into position for the water level adjustment. As a modern control engineer, the pressure to keep the world's flow moving without a single second of rest always weighed on his shoulders, especially in recent months, When the water levels of Gatun Lake had dropped due to prolonged droughts, every drop of fresh water flowing from the rainforest into the shiplifting system was as precious as lifeblood. There was a soft knock at the door. Mateo turned around, and a warm smile instantly brightened his slightly tired face. Elena walked in, carrying a steaming bowl of hot sancocho soup, the vapor rising and bringing with it the rich, fragrant aroma of cilantro. She wore a light-colored cotton dress with a delicate floral pattern, her natural curls adorned with a small wild flower. "You forgot your siesta hour again, didn't you, Mateo?" Elena gently set the bowl of soup on the table, her voice clear and soothing, like the leisurely strumming of a Majoranera guitar. "I know the pressure of coordinating the water these days is immense, but if you don't take care of yourself, Gatun Lake won't be able to fill up again either." Mateo pulled out a chair for her, gently holding the soft hand of the woman who had walked with him through many seasons of rain and sun on this strip of land. He took a spoonful of soup, the rich sweetness of the stewed chicken blending with the starchy texture of nyame yam, seemingly dissolving all the tension in his chest. "Thank you, Elena. With your sancocho, I feel as though I am given the strength of 3 generations." Mateo smiled, his gaze drifting out the large glass window where the ocean vessel was being slowly raised and lowered within the locks by natural fresh water. "Every time I see the water levels fluctuate, I remember the stories my father and grandfather used to tell." Elena sat down beside him, her gaze also directing toward the historic canal. She loved listening to his stories because his voice was deep, warm, and slow, perfectly suited for the quiet nights of this land. "My grandfather, Mateo," he began to narrate, his voice steady like the whisper of the wind. "When he arrived here in the last century, he had nothing but his bare hands and a resilient will. He was of African descent, belonging to the generation of the very first workers who faced the deadly stretch of the Culebra Cut. In those days, this jungle was a perilous puzzle filled with yellow fever and malignant malaria. He told me that the wooden quarter-style houses, with their high stilts and thick mosquito netting, were the fragile boundary between life and death. Amidst the suffocating heat and humidity, the sound of shovels striking hard rocks, blending with the torrential downpours, was the music of that generation." Elena gently rested her head on Mateo's shoulder, listening to the peaceful beat of his chest. "But he overcame it, didn't he?" "Yes, he did. He survived, thanks to the comforting bowls of soup from my grandmother and his deep love for this land. By my father's time, the challenge took on a different color. Those were the years of division, when the zone around the canal was a nation within a nation, governed by its own laws that the locals could hardly reach. My father worked tirelessly as a technical staff member, witnessing every screw, every valve operate. On that fateful night, at the end of 1999, when the Panamanian flag officially flew atop Ancon Hill, marking the day the canal was fully handed over to our people, my father wept. That was the pride of national sovereignty that he always passed down to me. The story of the past drifted away gently like a river of memory, making way for the peaceful silence of the present. Mateo held Elena's hand tightly, guiding her out onto the balcony of the control room. Night had fallen deep, and the surroundings grew quiet, leaving only the rustle of the leaves in the boundless tropical rainforest embracing the canal banks. "And now," Elena looked up at him, her eyes reflecting the twinkling neon lights of the distant ships. "It is your generation's turn to protect this flow." "Yes, Elena, but I am not alone, because I have you," Mateo said softly. The pressure of digitalization, calculating every cubic meter of water so ships don't touch the bottom during the dry season, sometimes makes me forget why I started. But every time I look at you, seeing your patience as you embroider the lines on your Culebra dress, I understand that resilience is what keeps all values alive. Elena smiled. Next week was the largest carnival festival of the year, and she had spent the past 6 months hand embroidering her traditional Culebra dress made of pure white linen. The meticulous needlework portrayed the wild flowers of the Panamanian countryside, infusing into it all the love and patience of a native daughter. "You know, Mateo," Elena turned slightly, her everyday cotton dress swaying gently in the breeze, "when I embroider, or when I prepare traditional dishes like arroz con gandules cooked with fragrant coconut milk for you, I always think of our love. It is just like this lock system. It doesn't need noisy, roaring mechanical pumps. It operates entirely on the natural fresh water from Gatun Lake, lifting each other up through gravity and the most natural harmony." Elena's words were like a healing remedy, soothing the tension in Mateo's mind. He pulled her into a gentle embrace, inhaling the natural fragrance of her hair. From far away, down in the valley, the deep, warm rhythm of the Tamborito drum began to echo from a small village near the canal. It was a leisurely, steady, and rhythmic beat, just like the heartbeat of Panama, the land known as the Bridge of the World, the crossroads of countless cultures and timeless love stories. A musician somewhere was plucking the first notes of a 5-string Majoranera guitar, its rustic sound echoing against the rock faces, blending with the chorus of frogs in the late rain. "Listen," Mateo whispered in her ear, "the dance of our homeland. Shall we take a step?" Elena looked up, her eyes sparkling with joy. Right there on the breezy balcony overlooking the historic canal, where ocean vessels were silently lining up through the heart of the jungle, Mateo and Elena began to move to the rhythm of the Tamborito drum. There was no need for fast or hurried steps. They moved slowly and gracefully. Mateo took an elegant step forward. Elena stepped gently back, her dress sweeping wide like a blooming flower in the night. It was not just a dance. It was an understanding, a merging of two souls who had grown up together beside the echoing waters of the canal. As the music gradually thinned out and gave way to the peaceful symphony of nature, Mateo led Elena back into the warm room. The final ship of his shift had safely passed through the Miraflores locks, continuing its journey toward the vast ocean. The water level inside the lock had returned to a state of calm balance, as still as a giant mirror reflecting the star-filled sky. Together, they gathered their belongings to return to their cool, tile-roofed concrete home in the suburbs near the canal. The house was surrounded by ornamental banana trees and vibrant red hibiscus flowers, where a hammock woven from natural fibers hung on the porch, the ideal spot for summer, siesta naps, or breezy nights like tonight. Before leaving the office, Mateo looked back at the technical diagram displaying the flow of Gatun Lake. He no longer felt anxious or pressured. He understood that even if climate change brought new challenges, human unity and the cherishing of nature would always find a way, just as his ancestors had overcome diseases and historical upheavals. "Elena," Mateo said softly as they walked beneath the canopy of trees, heading toward the brightly colored Chiva Parandera bus parked at the dock to pick up workers ending their shift. "I realize that our love, and our love for this canal, is the most infinite source of fresh water. It will always fill the empty spaces, lifting us over all the rapids of life." Elena squeezed his hand gently, a radiant smile of happiness on her lips. "And I will always be here, weaving new seasons of joy with you." The vintage bus started Thong Thar, carrying the children of Panama back to their nests. Through the wide open window, the cool night breeze caressed their cheeks, bringing the whisper of the ancient forest and the gentle lapping of waves against the boat hulls. A feeling of absolute peace and tranquility spread through the space, comforting the souls of those who had dedicated their lives to the flow of the world. The story of Mateo's three-generation family by the Panama Canal is not only a song about the development of a magnificent monument, but above all, a testament to the power of connection, patience, and enduring love. Just like the lock system operating entirely on natural fresh water from Mother Earth, true romance and family love do not require grand gestures. It nurtures human beings through subtle understanding, through the appreciation of foundational cultural roots, and through steadfast faith to overcome all upheavals of time. Ultimately, after the busyness and pressures of modern life, what keeps us anchored is a peaceful harbor where the soul is healed and comforted in the arms of loved ones. As the vintage Shiva Parandera bus vanished behind the bend of the trail, the space around the Miraflores locks sank into a vast and deep silence. All human movements and the sounds of machinery had now completely retreated into the background, making way for a magical convergence between the earth, the sky, the water, and the vast tropical night. The historic canal, which just moments ago was busy supporting colossal ships, lay as still as a grand mirror. The water's surface carried not a single ripple, so tranquil that it perfectly reflected the shimmering Milky Way high above. The distant stars seemed to dip low, blending into the dark water, blurring the boundary between the earth and the boundless sky. From the distant valley, the warm, deep rhythm of the Tamborito drum still echoed steadily, but now it was no longer clear or hurried. The drumbeat had become faint, leisurely, and distant, like a whisper from Mother Earth lulling the landscape into a deep slumber. That rhythm arose at intervals, slow and steady, matching the very pace of your heartbeat right now. The notes of the 5-string Millonera guitar also dissolved gently into the night mist. Those rustic, clear melodies lost their sharp edges, melting into the air, blending with the whisper of the wind through the ornamental banana leaves and the rustle of the vibrant red hibiscus bushes by the path. All of it gathered into a soothing, wordless symphony, embracing your mind, calming your senses, and carrying you into a state of absolute drifting relaxation. You can clearly feel the stillness spreading, soaking deep into every small corner of the space. The tropical rainforest embracing the canal banks breathes out its final cool mist of the late night. The sweet fragrance of the earth after the rain, the raw scent of vegetation, and the savory flavor of the sea blowing from afar, all of it seems to fade, thinning out until it is nothing more than an invisible, comforting touch upon your skin. The surrounding space feels as though it is fading away slowly. The outlines of the sturdy concrete locks and the twinkling signal lights atop Ancon Hill all blur, yielding to a mystical, thin shroud of evening mist. Your mind right now is also experiencing a gentle transition. The images of Mateo, elegant in his guayabera shirt, of Elena, tender with her embroidered floral dress, and the story of 3 resilient generations by the canal are all slowly drifting away. They do not disappear completely. Instead, they transform into a feeling of deep reassurance, a warm trust deep within your heart. You realize that every pressure, every challenge in this world will ultimately find a peaceful resolution, just as the natural fresh water from Gatun Lake silently fills all voids and lifts all values through the tides of time. Every thought in your head has now become as light as a wisp of smoke, no longer clinging to anything at all. You feel yourself floating freely on a perfectly calm river, with no need to steer, no need for direction. This gentle current is softly carrying you away from the world of daily concepts and worries, drawing closer to the boundary of peaceful dreams. Let yourself dissolve into this stillness, letting the night envelop and protect you. There is no past, no future, only this very moment, a moment of complete surrender, ready to welcome the most peaceful sleep. Now, our journey has brought you to the final harbor of peace. In the quiet darkness of the suburbs near the Panama Canal, the small, tile-roofed concrete home appears like a sacred sanctuary, completely insulated from the busy world outside. Beneath the wide porch, where the ornamental banana trees and hibiscus flowers are silently closing their petals to welcome the night dew, a hammock woven from natural fibers sways with absolute leisure. Imagine yourself resting upon that soft hammock. Each sway of the hammock is a gentle, slow lullaby. To the left and then to the right, rhythmic, steady, carrying your mind deep, so deep into the absolute silence of the night. The surroundings are completely free from even the smallest sound of human life. The brightly colored vintage bus has also turned off its engine to rest. The entire world seems to have simultaneously drifted into an endless night siesta. There is only the incredibly faint whisper of the ancient tropical forest, the sound of leaves caressing one another in the cool breeze blowing back from the ocean. Your breath by now has completely harmonized with the rhythm of the earth and sky, so light, so leisurely. You do not need to try to think, nor do you need to remember anything anymore. Every image, every sound is fading away, dimming down, like a stroke of ink, slowly dissolving into the still, deep waters of Gatun Lake. Your body now feels entirely weightless, like a fallen leaf drifting effortlessly on the surface of the Miraflores locks on a windless night. Warmth, comfort, and safety wrap around you completely, from the top of your head down to the very tips of your toes. Your mind is entirely empty, still, and peaceful, like a giant mirror reflecting the star-filled sky. You are drifting into the realm of sweet dreams, where there are no worries, no pressures, only absolute relaxation and healing. Let yourself sink down, sink deeper into this peaceful slumber. You fully deserve a night of complete rest after all the dedications of the long day that has passed. A message from the soul. When the dawn breaks and a new day begins, when you wake up with a body full of energy and a fresh mind, remember to return to this video. Take a little time to leave your thoughts in the comment section, sharing the relaxing journey we experienced together tonight. Your return and interaction are like fresh drops of water nurturing the channel to grow day by day. But that is tomorrow's story. For now, your only task is to let go of everything, let the night comfort you, and fall into a deep sleep. Sleep is coming, so close, so gentle. Let everything drift away. Your eyes are heavy, your mind is ready to close. Feel the absolute protection of this space. The distant Tamborito drumbeat is completely silenced, and the Majornera guitar has faded entirely into the mist. Only the most original piece of the universe remains. You are sleeping. Sleeping so deeply, so soundly. Wish you a peaceful sleep and beautiful dreams by the quiet canal.